Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Movie World proudly brings to you the Movie Mount Rushmore, featuring the one AJ Anthony Jordan, the French phenom Nico Luro, the Silver Screen Dudes!
Oh, you didn't know? It's time to sit down and talk some movies!
Hey screeners, how you doing? It's us, the Silver Screen Dudes. I'm Anthony Jordan.
And if you just heard from the intro, the French phenom is here too, Nico Luro.
That's the one, guys, that's the one. We are the Silver Screen Dudes.
And it's time to sit down and talk some movies.
Indeed it is. Oh, you did not know. Guys,
it is time for the Silver Screen Show.
Yeah, again, oh man. If you have seen if you've been on YouTube recently and you've seen our Versus show, I think this was the toughest Versus show we could ever have. We had Marvel versus DC, and you know what? The top 10 is it's no easier. Yeah, it's no easier. It's bloody hard. You know, the more I think of it, I'm here writing and I'm still scratching and edging and going in different ways because there were so many good ones. Don't get me wrong, we've had some stinkers in history, but I've got such a collection. I make sure I go out and buy every superhero movie. So
much to your detriment, because there are some stoinkers there. I'm gonna Phantom make it ring a bell.
Right, guys, here we go. These will not be on my list, but they are on my DVD collection. Supergirl, Elektra, Catwoman. Yes, Catwoman, Elektra. They're all there. The Phantom as well. They're there. And I've got
X-Men Days of Future Past. Yes,
I'm gonna get that. I'm waiting to see a box.
I fucking hate that movie.
I'm waiting to see a box set on that.
God, I hate that movie.
I've got some bad ones. I've even got Green Lantern. I actually refuse to buy Green Hornet. It will come, but I really hated that film. But yeah. Yes. So guys, in case you've guessed it, we're talking top 10 best superhero movies.
And we got quite a lot to pick from, but a quick rundown. Yeah. The way the show works is we each get given a topic. This week with superhero movies. We each go off, we make our list separately, then we come back here every Sunday for our podcast time and filming time. And the way the show works, we're going to break it down for you. This week, AJ's going to start first. Is it you or me?
You.
It's me. Okay, so I'm going to start first this week. I'll present my bottom 4. Then AJ will present his bottom 4. I'll go my next 4. Then AJ will go with his next 4. Then I will present my number 2. AJ will present his number 2, my number 1, and his number 1. And then if we should have a movie which is in both of our lists, the person who has got it higher will punt until we get to that position. And at the end of the show, once we've both presented our top 10, we're going to give you our Movie Mount Rushmore. So the top 4 superhero movies that you must see. Bearing in mind, we're picturing you as if you've never seen a superhero movie. So these are the must 4 that you should see.
Please, where have you been? Please, where have you been?
So it's me, huh?
Yes, please, sir.
Okay, believe it or not, we are in the realm of superheroes, and I know everyone thinks that automatically means Marvel or DC, but my number 10 is neither. And actually, before I give my number 10, I want to give a quick honourable mention to Kick-Ass.
Okay.
You know what? I think this is the movie that, above the amazing marketing campaign and aside from the fact that it was demanded by public, movies like this are another reason why we can hope for Deadpool.
Yeah, no.
Swearing, adult-themed, and comic book movies. And it was just like fucking nothing you would expect, was it?
Yeah.
Bloody, gory, violent.
It's bad collection there, yeah.
I mean, it's just an honourable mention. But at my actual number 10, I believe it's part of the Vertigo comics. I may be wrong. Shoot me if I am, guys. I'm sorry. It's The Crow.
Okay, yes, Mr. Brandon Lee in his final
rest
performance.
His soul.
Yeah. And also, for you wrestling fans who recognise our New Age Outlaws intro,
Sting.
Yeah, it's the precursor to Sting. There is no Sting, later version of Sting without the Crow. It's 100%.
He was basically the Crow, wasn't it?
It is, yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, The Crow is about rocker Brandon Lee, who on what they call Devil's Night in the movie, this gang headed by the Sheriff of Nottingham's brother from Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, if you remember him. Alan Rickman was the Sheriff of Nottingham. His cousin, not brother. His cousin is the head of the villains in this. I can't even remember the actor's name.
No, I'm afraid. Blank. I'm trying to remember. I see the face, but I just can't remember.
Yeah, you got Brandon Lee, and you've also got a really nice appearance from Tony Todd, aka the Candy Man.
Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
The African American who's got a voice like this. Cool actor. And it's basically about him and his bride-to-be. They get broken into, bride gets raped and killed, he gets thrown out of a 6-story window. And the precursor to the story is sometimes most of the time a crow will take the body of the dead to the land beyond, but sometimes something so bad happens that body stays with us. And he gets binded to the spirit of a crow. And it's very, very early 90s, so you don't have major special effects like you do, with the modern day superhero movies, but it's so stylistic and so cool. And more to the point, just like the way that Kick-Ass did, it feels a lot like a comic strip, doesn't it? It feels like a proper comic book movie. I'm guessing it didn't make your list because you didn't pun.
No, it didn't. I didn't pun. Also, just talking comic strip and what have you, one that didn't make my list, but worth of a mention, Sin City. I just wanted to put that out there.
Sin City.
I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about that till now, till we mentioned comic strip.
Shit, Sin City is a good
Yeah, so I jumped in. That could have been on your list.
No, it wasn't. No.
Wow.
Thinking, should I take anything off? No, I won't. But Sin City's a hell of a good one. Much more graphic novel than superhero, I would say. Yeah. No, just because it's a comic, but... So that's my number 10. My number 9, you might be surprised that it's this low on my list.
Go.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me.
I would love to pun. I'd love to say it's on the same place. It didn't make my list.
It didn't. Fuck me.
I love the movie. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating.
Just quickly, in case you don't know, the movie we're talking about is Guardians of the motherfucking Galaxy.
Yeah, not that the MF is actually part of the title. Kids, don't worry, your parents, you are allowed to let your kids watch that movie.
This is the movie where Marvel proved to the world that they could do what the fuck they wanted. They took, and both AJ and I are what you would call sweaty comic book nerds. We get down and sweaty and dirty. We know our comic books. I'll be the first. I'm not one of those dickheads who will say, "Oh yeah, I knew who the Guardians were." If you're one of those guys, fuck off. No one in the world knew who bar the very few who respect to you. Sweatiest of the sweaties.
Honestly,
nearly no one knew who the fuck these guys were.
Honestly, I would only believe that person if they can produce a comic. Like, his
old
original
comic.
I'd need to see the comic, otherwise I refuse to believe you. I'm that deep in it.
There's one guy I know who's obviously, not know personally, but who I watch. He's on Collider, John Schnapp. He knows the Guardians. They actually, I believe that Collider brought him in because they didn't know about Guardians, and he was like, "Yeah, I know."
Fair enough.
So he is the king of the sweaties. But yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy. It's just so out there, isn't it?
It is. It's a fantastic movie. Don't get me wrong.
It's
It's not on my
cool.
list. Doesn't
it
mean
was like the
it's
stopover between Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's a space opera. Peter Quill, played by the now amazing Chris Pratt, gets kidnapped as a kid, and it's set across this imaginary Marvel galaxy of space. You've got the Kree, you've got the Nebulans, you've got Rocket Raccoon. How the fuck do you explain what Guardians of the Galaxy is
so
about?
Hard.
It's so weird.
He's that lovable rogue.
He's a Marvel Han Solo.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah. He's the unlikely hero. That's the best way to say it. It's the Marvel version of Han Solo. And it's just such an adventure. It's so weird. You've got,
You go from a prison onto a war zone, it doesn't stop. It is non-stop action with one of the best goddamn soundtracks I've heard since Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, and can I say, it's the wackiest film you could see that makes sense. It's not wacky and stupid. It's wacky, laugh and enjoy.
One of Vin Diesel's best roles, even though he only says 3 words. I am Groot.
That's probably why it's one of it. No.
You've got Bradley Cooper playing Rocket Raccoon. You've got Benicio del Toro playing playing the Collector. You've got Glenn Close playing Nova. You've got for the wrestling fans out there, Dave Bautista, who actually showed that when used correctly, and this is the mark of a good director, can be a very entertaining, watchable actor.
Yeah.
What the fuck did Sam Mendes, who I thought was a great actor, do to him in Bloody Spectre? He had one line. I'm like, this guy's shown he can deliver a line when used the right way.
I suppose they just wanted muscle.
Yeah. And you had, what's her face?
Is it Zoe? Zoe Saldana?
Zoe Saldana. Lovely Zoe. As Gamora.
That's correct.
And if these characters mean nothing to you, then where have you been? And you need to see this movie.
Guys,
because
honestly,
it is awesome.
It's worth watching. It's so funny because again, you don't really know it's Marvel. It's one of those weird ones or what have you. And you think, oh, what is this about? What are these weird characters? I'll be honest. I thought Rocket Raccoon was the fox from Star Wing. That was what I first thought. I thought it was a spin-off that way. I was like, really? What's this? But it's a film you can't help but laugh. You can't help but enjoy it.
It's got so many great lines in it.
Yeah.
Rocket steals the show,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah. Bradley Cooper does a fantastic.
Oh, he's awesome, isn't he?
Yeah.
And I was like, when they first announced it, I was like, why the fuck are you getting Bradley Cooper? I mean, he's a great actor, but he doesn't have that recognizable voice. Man, he makes the character his own.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's
So
not even
much.
Bradley's voice. He has Rocket Raccoon's voice.
Yeah.
It's just, it's top stuff.
My number 8, I'm hoping is on your list, but it's Blade.
Yeah. It
No?
really did. Okay, it's no big surprise of coming up very early in it. I went for Blade 2. I was really tossed between the two. I'm not gonna lie, Blade is fully worthy of being in there.
There's 2 reasons I love Blade over Blade. No, there's a few reasons I love Blade over Blade 2. First off, you mentioned it off camera, is Frost.
Yeah, Deacon Frost. Stephen Dorff is
Such a good villain. And the thing that I loved about this, and it just showed how much of a bad motherfucker Wesley Snipes is.
Yeah.
Because Blade 2 used a lot of CGI effects, with him doing those overly computerized jumps. Blade 1 is all him, son.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
him.
no.
And everything he does is just so goddamn fast. And I mean, you feel the impact just when you're watching. It's like, been a professional Muay Thai fighter for a number of years. I wouldn't fuck with Wesley Snipes. Fuck that.
Yeah.
He's so quick and strong. And getting off topic, for those of you who don't know what Blade is, essentially Blade is what they call the Daywalker. He's a hybrid of being
human and vampire. Basically,
Hates
his
the
mother
man.
was
Bitten by a vampire
was converted
at
into a while he was
and
she
he was
still
given
pregnant,
the gene. So he's got all of their strengths and nearly none of their weaknesses, and he hunts the vampires. It's an 18-rated Marvel movie.
Oh,
and
rightfully so.
It's very bloody, very sexy, but I would say it's probably the first brilliant Marvel movie that predates Iron Man.
Yes. No, without a shadow of a doubt, couldn't.
Such a good
Can't
movie.
knock that. And what I love about
And
Deacon
you wonder,
Frost,
Daredevil came out after this, didn't it?
Oh yeah, way after.
How the fuck did they go from such a good movie to such shite?
My explanation to that is it's Blade being a subcategory.
They
Marvel
could get
hero.
away with it.
You
there.
could do what you wanted. It wasn't as a Marvel hero that needed to be seen. Daredevil came, if you look at it, after the Batman franchise and whatnot. And as much as Batman and Robin was bad, that was the approach people took to superhero movies. It's likable for
stupid
kids.
and
It's
comic booky.
it had to be very like.
Which is crazy, actually, when you think about it, because if you think about some of the animations that both Marvel and DC have done that predate this by years and years and years, both animation and the comics themselves, some of them are very adult.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering, to the fucking producers who made those early and mid-90s Marvel movies, and DC movies,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
It's weird.
Comic book movies don't need to be childish at all.
No.
In fact, one of the animations which is very adult made my list much higher. We'll talk about that later. Oh, actually, next I've got one which is not Marvel or DC. My number 7 is probably of all the movies on my list, and I'd be surprised if you've got one that tops this, the movie that is the truest to its core subject matter and truest to the comic books. I'm talking Watchmen.
Do you know, I had a feeling it was going to be on your list. I have been told.
Fucking work of
I have
art.
been told a million times to watch it.
You haven't seen Watchmen?
I for some reason got part way. And I haven't completed it. It's really.
Have you
weird.
read Watchmen?
No.
Oh, dude.
No, that's the thing. I haven't read Watchmen. I'll be honest. That's why I think it was that lack of association possibly, but I've heard the film's fantastic and I was enjoying it, so I have to complete
It's
it.
got a bit of a kick-ass feel to it, in the sense that these guys dress up and they go and try and save the day in a violent way, but they don't necessarily have superheroes, other than, for those of you who know it, the obvious Dr. Manhattan. But I mean, I've read it. I've got it at home if you want to borrow it.
Yeah, I might do.
Frame for fucking frame, this movie depicts the comic book. And this is a complex political comic. This is not a simple throwaway kiddie comic. This is a complex story presented in the form of a comic. And people were saying for ages, this cannot be made into a movie. Zack Snyder, I fucking applaud you, because you did it. And
Yeah,
the fact that you made that gives me a bit of hope for the DC cinematic universe. But what a movie! I'm putting it on the list for the reason alone. There are better comic book movies out there, but none of them are frame for frame
No, I appreciate
the same
that.
thing.
I appreciate that. It's on my to watch list. Actually, I've actually got a list of films.
No, that needs to be added to your DVD collection, mate. It's unreal.
Cool. No.
But I'll lend you the comic first.
Yes. No. Thank you.
Go with your number 10.
Right, okay, I'm going down the very old school cheesy route. I'm sure Nick would have believed it was going to go Batman Forever, but no. It's actually the film that topped it for me.
I know it's a guilty pleasure of yours, but you can't put Batman Forever on a top 10 superhero movies.
But I will go down the cheese route of what was better than... Because Batman itself was very iconic, but I believe Michael Keaton's best portrayal of Batman was Batman Returns. In a top 10 position, I think you had the cast that were
Danny DeVito,
Danny DeVito as the Penguin, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. It's the film that makes my line of lines being
kiss can be deadly.
Yeah, a kiss can be deadly if you mean it, but mistletoe is even deadlier if you eat it.
No, mistletoe is deadly if you eat it.
Yeah, but a kiss is even worse. Yeah, it's. Do you know what? To some people, it will fall under guilty pleasure. Some people think really it's not worthy of being in there.
Do you know, if you'd given that to me I think it was 8 months ago that I watched it again with my girlfriend, telling her, oh yeah, this is a great Batman, this is a great Batman. When I rewatched it, having not seen it for years, I really didn't fucking like it. It's got so... And unfortunately, I can't remember because I've blocked them out because I've still hold on to those good memories I have of watching it when I was younger, but it's got so many plot holes in it. So
I don't doubt
many
it. I don't doubt it. Look, it's at number 10. It's not going to go major. We have to look at that era. It was the era of good. It was a good super movie in an era where super movies weren't good.
That's true.
Yeah, and Michael Keaton done fantastic. Yeah, as you said, Batman Forever is a guilty pleasure. Jim Carrey does fantastic in that. I don't care what the Riddler's meant to be. That worked. Okay, that's what I'm going to say on that. Batman and Robin, we shan't mention.
Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face did not work.
It could have gone deeper, but
he could have been a great Two-Face, but the way they made the character play, it's not a great Two-Face.
Didn't work.
Two-Face is not a sidekick.
No, exactly that. Should we even go into more of who's not a sidekick? Bane is not a sidekick. But yeah, no, going back to... I love the story of... Oh God, you have to see the film to understand how bad it is. I don't even want to get
Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
Well, they improved Bane, didn't they? The Dark Knight Rises. Bane, I've got your toys back, man.
I'm still waiting to see a decent Bane. Honestly, nothing against Tom Hardy when I say that, but I'm waiting to see a decent
He bugged up for it well, respect.
Yeah, no, he done that.
The voice, the Tom Hardy.
It sounded like a creepy pervert. No, it was just weird. Right, guys, for those of you who don't know, Batman Returns being the sequel to Batman, we've mentioned the cast. We have not Jack Nicholson, Danny DeVito as the Penguin, the young orphan actually raised by penguins. It's such a unique approach, and he's running for mayor of Gotham. Selena Kyle, the mistreated employee who gets rescued by cats after
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken is, again, the evil boss, and his appearance at finding out. I don't even want to get into spoilers.
Which character did he play again?
He was Selena's boss. I can't remember the name. Max. It was Max. I can't remember the surname.
It wasn't Zorin. That's from fucking James Bond.
He's Max. I can't remember it.
Damn it.
Yeah, but it... Take the 90s for the weird era that it was. We mentioned in our throwback...
It was a superhero movie very much made in the image of Tim Burton, wasn't it?
It's that quirkiness of Tim Burton too. It's really dark. It kind of honours Batman without fully going into the real honouring of Batman. That comes much later on. It was Batman
in a rubber suit.
Yeah.
And it was caught somewhere between the worlds of Adam West and Christian Bale.
Yeah, most definitely. As crossed as it can get. Okay, in 9th position, moving on, it's the sequel to your one, Blade 2. Don't get me wrong.
Good movie.
I think Stephen Dorff... I think the fact that he was Blade's exact opposite makes it really tops. And I was reading there, there's an element of action. I think the CG kind of helped it in a way.
No, it did. It did.
It really helped it in a way. The approach of the hybrid of vampires.
That I didn't like.
It was weird, but it worked. It was, Blade, because Blade has taken out, for better or worse terms, the biggest evil in the term of vampire. So you you needed that thing. And
Blade Trinity came around and we got Dracula.
Do you know what?
Which was shit.
Do you know why that film is so bad? Again, I'm gonna hands up, wrestling fan. I thought, okay, here we go, Triple H. After The Rock, Triple H was the next guy I was expecting to see stuff.
No.
I to this day can't finish the film. I hate it. I've got it on DVD, another one of the bad ones. I cannot finish it. I hate it that much. I get bored each and every time. But Blade 2 was interesting because the main bad guy was from Bros. I don't know if anyone remember.
What, Ron Perlman?
No.
He was in there though, wasn't he?
Yeah. What's his name? Luke Goss or Matt Goss?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. The main Ron Perlman's in it, but the main villain, the one who's resentful about it, bald-headed guy.
Yeah, no, I can't. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember his name in it, but it was really interesting. My favourite scene is, we all know that Blade doesn't want to do what vampires do. He will find blood from anywhere, and he's in this fight and he's completely weak, and some people find it so cheesy and probably hate it, but it's when he gets thrown into the pool of blood and he resurfaces, and you know that Wesley Snipes is going to go full on Blade mode and kick some ass. So that's my number 9. Number 8 is animation.
I hope it's the one I'm thinking.
Justice League.
It's not the one I'm thinking.
Okay, right, Justice League, Crisis on Two Earths. Really enjoyed this film. Have you seen it?
Do you know what? I've seen part of it and it actually bored me.
No, I loved it. One of my biggest things is I'm a big fan of parallel universes and stuff like that. And when you
the beginning pissed me off. I didn't like this friendly Joker and this good guy Lex.
Yeah, you got those weird bits there. Do you know what really sealed it for me? If you haven't seen the end, you won't appreciate it.
Okay, I need to see it through. I've got
it. But it's the brains of Bruce Wayne. No matter which way you look at it, it's the brains of Bruce Wayne, and it's something, because you've got your counterparts. You've got, it's not the Justice Guild. That was a Justice League episode. But there's the counteractions. You've got, it's not Batman, it's Owlman. You've got all these different versions, and it's the Justice League pretty much facing themselves. And eventually they find that they have to work together in order to save the world. And what I don't want to spoil is Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne to save a Justice League member. It's like, yeah, love it.
Okay.
It's an alternate version. It's alternate.
You're not
worlds
the first
meeting each
person
other.
who's talked to me about it as a comic book fan. I know I need to see it.
Right. Okay, right. In 10, 9, 8, 7, in 7th position. Personally, my favourite, and some people really hate on it, my favourite Superman movie, Man of Steel.
Took me 3 goes, but I freaking love it.
Do you know what? Everyone will go with Christopher Reeve being the main Superman. I think Henry Cavill has done amazing, right? Okay.
Cavill is amazing as Superman.
He works. I think it's the most...
I wouldn't put Man of Steel as one of the top 10 comic book movies, but I have to say, I saw it beginning to end all 3 times I've seen it. The first 2 times, I found it really hard to follow, and I still think that having watched it the 3rd time, because the editing is ropey in that movie.
I'll give you that.
Especially the first 45 minutes, it just jumps around all over the place. He's a kid, then he's old. He's in the Antarctic, he's in a bar. He's underwater. He's at a gas station. He's at the oil platform. I'm like,
then he's a lumberjack. He's all over.
What the fuck?
I'll give you that. It is very difficult. More than anything, I've always said it. But Soups needs to give a bit of edge, and he really goes in for the fight, and that's probably what some people hate.
No, I love it.
Hey, I know Batman hates it. That's why we have Batman vs Superman. But no, it's a top movie. Superman is always a very interesting character. Since number 1, I think 1 and 2 worked, and every film after that
worse and worse.
Yeah, so
Quest
you've got
for
3
Peace
and 4.
is one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
That's another one in my DVD collection. It's terrible. I've got the box set. That's what I'm saying. I completed superhero collection, but they always, even Superman Returns, they try to re-embellish what happened from the first 2 Superman movies. Man of Steel is no exception to that. And
there's so many things. The things that people criticize in this movie are the things that I think are good.
Work, exactly.
Like when Pa Kent tells him stop.
Yeah.
Like, no. That was good. Pa Kent was basically saying to him, the world isn't ready to see you yet.
Yeah, no, it's touching. It goes through all the emotions, as you said, through the different ages. You see all the different struggles he's had to go through.
Superman can fly, but people also forget that he can't move at the speed of a fucking bullet.
Yeah.
The expression is, it's a bird, it's a plane, no, it's Superman.
Is he not faster than the speed of light?
Possibly he is. I've not been the world's biggest Superman fan. The fact of the matter is, imagery-wise, Pa Kent telling him, stop, putting his hand up almost in, and people are like, hey, give him a Hitler salute. I'm like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
You're a dick. He was telling him stop because the world is not ready to see him yet. Yeah, they maybe have not seen Superman standing amongst them, but they fucking saw Pa Kent under a bridge over there. So they're not going to wonder how did he get from there back to all of us. And the other two things that I don't get are people criticizing the destruction of Metropolis. He had to do it. He's been Superman a week. He is fighting General Zod, who is getting stronger by the minute, and who said in a message before landing, if you do not give me Kal-El, I will destroy the Earth. He is trying to save the planet. People are going to get hurt as collateral damage.
No, most definitely. Thank you. I couldn't have said it better myself. Man of Steel, okay, doesn't deserve to be in there as a top 10, granted. However, one, it's the best Superman movie out there, and Superman, without a shadow of a doubt, being
Do you think
the
it's
best...
better than Superman Returns, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Brandon Routh wasn't the guy for me.
No, not Superman Returns, sorry, Superman 2. That was a goodie.
It was good, but I really enjoyed Superman 2. Man of Steel, sorry.
No, I like it too. And the fight scenes are proper.
To be honest with you, I think
that's the
Superman
first time I've seen Superman actually fight as Superman.
Thank you. He fights, and that's the thing. That's what makes it better than 2. And to be honest, Superman being the most iconic superhero, he had to get a mention somewhere in the top 10. So that's my number 7.
All right. My number 6 is the movie, and this is beyond a question of a doubt, the single movie that started the golden age of comic book movies. I am Iron Man.
Okay.
Are we punting?
That's 5.
It's my 6. Do you want to talk about it?
Let's go for it.
The best embodiment of a superhero by an actor ever. Nothing touches Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark and Iron Man. Nothing. There's not a Batman.
My number 6. I believe so. Yeah, I think he plays.
No,
it.
I think.
But go on. Let's shoot.
Iron Man. The moment that he is on, the moment he arrives, the very first scene, you are gripped with that. Hey sir, can I ask you a question? Yes, you may ask me a question. Hey, is it cool if I take a picture with you? Yes,
that would be very cool. Yeah. Do you know what?
Please don't do a peace symbol. I'm kidding. Throw it up there. The moment he was on scene, it was like, oh, he's back from the heroin. He's back from his time in rehab. Fucking Downey Jr. is back, baby. And he is owning this role. And without the success that film brought, due in no small part to the performance of Robert Downey Jr., which was, to this day, I believe is mesmerizing. People forgot how good Downey was. And then people watched Iron Man and were like, he's a fucking genius.
Question, and this is me being more of a slightly DC fan. Is that you say that's the best portrayal of Iron Man? Because I remember the Iron Man cartoon and remember him being pretty straight edge.
Yeah, but that doesn't follow the comics.
This is what I had to. This is what I was asking you. I don't know. I know. Put it this way: Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark are both billionaires, playboys. They're both billionaire playboys.
Yeah.
So I know that Bruce has always got a very.
Yeah, but the cartoon couldn't portray him as that, could he?
It couldn't. But he could have been a bit more party like. He was just very straight edge. But no. I just wanted to know. It's always been my confusion.
The movie depicts him perfectly.
That has always been my confusion. I
am watching Tony Stark when I watch those movies.
Listen, I have no argument with Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man. I've loved it. I had that confusion in my head. You've clarified that for me, so that always helps. Iron Man, I'm known to be a bit of a cocky git, so that's been cool. Do you know my biggest argument with Iron Man?
The villain.
No. My biggest argument was the revelation. I'm Iron Man. I just have to throw it out there because we're talking comic book movies.
We're talking comic book, and now you're like, yeah, well, Civil War, and there's not really any secret identities, right? But
partially
the thing is that Marvel, when Marvel Studios were formed, and this was the first movie they made, right? They didn't know that this was going to be a success. They had their finger ready on the button to greenlight everything that followed.
I appreciate it.
But they were just throwing it out there to be like, okay, so if it has to end there, it ends there.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I just thought, again, something Marvel fans will really hate. Spider-Man having organic webbing. It was just so similar to that.
Yeah, I hated that. I did hate that.
Funny enough, I could understand that more than I could.
Iron Man that worked. Like when he was,
I just had to
his
draw that
relationship
negative
with Jarvis,
Pepper, the original.
No, when he was trying the various suits on in his and 3, 2, 1. whoa, you spray me again and you're going to be deactivated, you know? Yeah. It was so good.
The whole film was fantastic. I'm not knocking it, but I had to draw that negative before going back onto the positives because it's just something that's always stuck out to me. Like, why did they do that? But again, I understand that. I've always known why they did, but I just felt like you shouldn't have. Just the justice behind that shouldn't have been there. Because we know, put it this way, we always know who the Fantastic Four were. We knew who Captain America was.
But this was the genius of Iron Man. Nobody knew who he was other than, you know, you and me, for example. I mean, and obviously many other people.
The outside world, the real world. The real world knew it.
For the comic book fans, guys, just remember, we make up probably 1% of the world.
Yeah.
Not the guys who've started liking comic books since Marvel have been around with their cinematic universe and now about to be DC, but pre that, there was not many of us who read comics, alright?
That's cool.
So that was my number 6. My number 5 is Man of Steel, but it's not your Man of Steel, it's the original Superman.
Do you know what? For the music alone, it deserves that. Christopher Reeve's done a fantastic performance.
Christopher Reeve was amazing.
He was Superman. Do you know what it is?
And it's Man of Steel and Superman. It's like, you know, the Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan. We both prefer Pierce Brosnan to Sean Connery, but we both acknowledge without Sean Connery there is no Brosnan.
This is it.
That without Reeve there is no Henry Cavill as Superman.
Yeah. Again,
Man
this
of
whole
Steel
debate
brings the action harder, but it's all about the time, isn't it? When Superman came out, the first time he flew Man of Steel, I thought was amazing. But the first time he flies in Superman, it's stuff.
To me, I could be
wrong.
wrong.
We were kids. It was stuff of fucking dreams.
Wrong. It's either the first superhero incarnation, if not, it's the best early superhero incarnation.
I think so.
So I'm pretty sure it's the first. I know there was a George Reeve.
It came before Batman.
Yeah, way before. It was a 70s movie, But we were all aware of it, and that's the thing. We're both 80s kids, guys, and we were aware of this film. We both loved the film growing up, so there's no knock in the film.
It was magic. It was one of those... It's up there in moments of my childhood cinema. You know, the first time I saw a T-Rex in Jurassic Park, or I saw the White House blown up in Independence Day. Yeah. Seeing someone fly was like, oh my fucking god.
It was Superman. It's funny, some stuff you know before knowing, and Superman is someone you know without knowing, and to actually see the film just meant a lot. It was there.
It was incredible.
I can't knock Superman.
So that was my number 5. My number 4 is my comic book entry.
Okay.
What I believe to be, and this is the comic book that Batman v Superman is strongly borrowing from in many different aspects, and the one I believe to have of any superhero movie to have the best line ever. It's a 2-parter.
I know that one.
It's The Dark Knight Returns.
Fantastic movies. I'll give
You've only seen part 1.
No, I've seen both.
Oh, you've seen the fight now, huh? Thank God. Look, the first part, the ultimate confrontation with the Joker. The second part, the fight with Superman. And picking him up at the end and going, I want you to remember, for the remainder of your days, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you. I mean, I've got goosebumps saying it now. It's so fucking powerful, that movie.
Yeah.
And it brings the whole question to an end of, well, Superman would clearly beat Batman. No!
Okay, guys, you're on.
I'm not saying Batman would beat Superman.
You're on a comic book top 10, so you clearly got to be into it. If not, I'm going to give you one of the biggest spoilers that's ever gone out there.
Batman beats Superman.
Well, there's that. But when it comes to it, Batman being the only Justice League member without any powers, I don't know if you know this, actually knows how to defeat each member of the Justice League.
Yeah, sure. That wasn't in Crisis on 2 Earths that he found that out. That was...
It's somewhere.
That was the one with Brainiac when he attacked.
Yeah, but it's a little known fact. Well, to the outside, to the non-deep, sweaty fans, Batman.
That's why he quits the Justice League, isn't it?
Yeah. He knows everything. That's one thing you cannot knock Bruce Wayne for, and that's the thing. Let's go back to that line. I want you to remember the man who beat you. It's there.
It's so powerful. It's an old and retired Batman, and he goes through a number of face-offs with famous foes and friends. Gotham is in a state of disarray. He's got to take down Two-Face, a proper Two-Face, not a Batman and Robin Two-Face. The Joker's in an insane asylum, and he seemingly goes normal again. Oh, but no, he doesn't. Oh, and he gets nasty. When he breaks out, it's terrible. Yeah. And then he starts controlling Gotham inadvertently, but Gotham's in a gang mentality, and people start following the Batman. And then he rallies the troops behind him, and ultimately the government sends Superman in to say, look, you got to stop this guy. He's gone from being more than a vigilante now.
Yeah.
And the fucking fight. That fight.
It's big, it's big.
We did a versus show, DC versus Marvel, and you said you need to mention anything more than Batman and Superman. No, they are the two biggest names. Seeing them fight and not seeing it be the one-sided affair that it really, in all intents and purposes, could have been.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
And it's plausible. You actually believe it. That's
Batman came prepared.
Yeah. And that's
he played dirty.
While we're touching this, guys, that is the prerequisite to Batman vs Superman, the movie. And as much as we've seen
maybe not, because if you watch that, Batman v Superman's a letdown.
Well, yeah, this is it. This is what I'm coming to.
I want them to use the line, I want you to remember the one man who beat you, but I can't see Affleck pulling that off.
This is what I'm saying. I have so many fears and doubts, and so much has been unleashed, and it's difficult because they have to unleash it because they're challenging the massiveness that Marvel has done. Guys, please, and I know the film's pretty much done, it's wrapped, it's ready to come out. Don't let me down, DC. Please don't let me down with this film. So much banks on it. That's my final say when it comes to that.
Yeah. My number 3, I hope to God, is on your list. When Captain America throws his mighty
Please tell me we're talking sequels.
We are.
Funny enough, it's my number 3.
Oh, is it?
it's
The Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
This is so much more than a comic book movie. This is a great spy thriller.
It's also redemption for Captain America. Which
I made him a badass.
Yeah. No, but also I'm talking Captain America 1, the movie, because...
No, that was so fucking bad.
It just dragged. It dragged.
It looked like a B movie.
Near enough.
Terrible.
Near enough. And the fact that we didn't even have the Red Skull in this, and it's still like,
it's amazing.
Yeah,
Sebastian Stan as the Winter Soldier, I thought was great. I thought introducing the Falcon was great. Scarlet Witch and his relationship building with her was great. It's not Scarlet Witch, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. Yeah, I was completely thrown. I'm like, it's not Scarlet Witch. Yeah.
The reference to the rest of the cinematic universe, like Stephen Strange being mentioned and shit. You're like, okay, there's a big universe here at play. Yeah. This basically took Captain America away from that Boy Scout, drink your milk and eat your greens image that he was, a B rank Superman, and it made him his own character and arguably one of the coolest, if not the coolest member of the Avengers.
Yeah. Ooh.
One of.
Yeah.
It basically.
It made him fit in more.
It solidified him as the leader. And because the only reason he was the leader in Avengers.
Age.
Not age, but the fact that Iron Man says, Cap, call it.
Yeah.
Iron Man submitted to him partly. But in this, you could tell, okay, this is the bad motherfucker. This is the leader.
Yeah, no, without. And, it's even the fact of he's taking on shit. As you said, it's an espionage movie.
It's political. It's a period piece. It's a political thriller. And it's got a good villain. The Winter Soldier's not the villain. He's an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Robert Redford, a political member, Great acting, great villain. The system turning against you with the downfall of S.H.I.E.L.D. It was so good.
Yeah.
The fact that the Russos made this and they're making the Infinity War just makes me go, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, I'm sad that Whedon's not making it, but the Russos are definitely my second choice.
It's in good hands.
It's
in good hands, without a doubt.
Great fucking movie. It's your number 3 too, huh?
Yes, it's my number 3. Right, okay.
Your number 6.
Number 6. This is one, because when you talk about Robert Downey Jr. being the perfect persona of a superhero character, I believe Chris Hemsworth as Thor,
Odin's son.
I can't picture it any better.
He is Thor.
He is Thor, and that...
He is Thor.
Do you know...
There's no doubt about that.
The funny thing is, I remember hearing about this film and I was like... I didn't relate to the comic.
Which Thor are we talking?
I'm actually going number 1.
Didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
Didn't like it. Boring. I found it really boring.
I wasn't a big fan of 2. I enjoyed 2, but I thought...
2 is a lot more entertaining.
Yeah, it was more... But you know what? I think of it...
And there wasn't enough of... Thor works best when Loki's around.
Yeah, the pairing there where they were... Yeah, that was amazing in 2, and they're working together, and
that scene where they're driving on that kind of Asgardian ship, and Natalie Portman gets knocked unconscious, and Loki, oh dear, is she dead?
No, yeah, you've got that. But you know what? It's the introduction, and I think why Thor stands out, the first one, because I had no passion or link to the comic. I really thought, Shakespearean talking piece of crap, I've got no time for this. And that's the honest truth. And you know what? I heard that Kenneth Branagh was the vocal coach as well as director. You know, he was
he went Shakespearean with it.
He went Shakespearean, and he, you know, really helped Chris Hemsworth in it. And I just say thank you for that, because it works so well.
Absolutely.
And you know,
but there wasn't enough of a threat in Thor.
There wasn't enough of a threat.
It was an origin story without much punch.
But do you know what? You look at the scene, which I think was, you can't forget where. Major, how do you pronounce it? The hammer is in the ground, and he's
Mahal.
Yeah, Mahal, and he's going around to, you know, get to it, and he's trying to lift it, and he's been removed of his power. It's like, what's going to happen? It was a real introduction, and it's a real journey. We're established with him, and not just that.
And it sets up a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You've got to blink and you'll miss a shot of the gauntlets in there, the Infinity Gauntlet.
Exactly, all of that. It's all of those bits that help build it. I think because we're really established, and that link between Thor and Loki is established. It's partly there. Then you've got it in Avengers. I'm not saying it's tied out.
I think his best performance was in Avengers.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
That was him at his best.
Yeah, but
1 and 2, he was great in both. I think he's much better in an ensemble movie as opposed to by himself.
I will agree with you on that. But it was an introduction, and it was a change of perception for me, and that's why.
Fair enough.
4 comes in at number 6. Number 5, we had Iron Man.
Iron Man, yeah.
Number 4, the last X-Men movie before it went bad, X2.
You didn't like First Class?
First Class is different because it's a different cast.
Yeah, but it's still an X-Men movie, and it's a goodie.
Yeah,
I think it's the best one. My favourite.
I'm just going with original cast. Yeah, I really enjoy. I love the approach. First Class was amazing. I really loved it. But you know, when you look at the characters that we're more familiar with, you're talking Cyclops, you're talking Storm. Okay,
who's a better Magneto, Ian McKellen or Fassbender? Ain't that a bitch? Because I mean, wheels. You know, it's Patrick Stewart for the win. But Fassbender or Ian McKellen is a better Magneto. Isn't that a bitch?
All right. The reason I'm going to say McKellen, because I picture an older Magneto when I picture Magneto, and he has such delivery when he speaks. Not saying Fassbender doesn't.
Fassbender's amazing.
The relationship between Magneto and what's her name? Mystique is better.
Raven.
Yeah, with Fassbender than it is.
But the problem I have with Mystique is Jennifer Lawrence. She's an amazing actress, obviously, 2-time Oscar winner. She's just not sexy. She is not sexy. Have a look at her when she's got her leg up, holding that guy around the neck against the wall with her foot. She's got a very weird physique. Do you know? And you look at I can't remember who the name of the actress who played the original Mystique. God, she was sexy.
She was an underwear model. Now this is the problem.
She was so sexy.
You can't. It happened, and I don't want to call her the ugly duckling because Jennifer Lawrence is not ugly.
She's not, but she's cute. She's not pretty or sexy.
But it's like
cute.
if you could change yourself to look like that, then. If you know, why didn't you look like that when you were younger? Then that's the argument. Even I was like, really, Mystique looked like that, and then looked like it's weird.
She got sexy as she got older.
I was like, really?
Women are like a fine wine; they get better with age.
It was that, but okay, X2. I believe it was.
It is the best of the X-Men movies of the original.
Of the originals, and it was the team building, the swap.
It didn't focus so much on origin. It brought the action.
Yeah, it brought the action.
And you gotta love fucking end sequence, huh?
Yeah.
The Phoenix is coming. And the Phoenix never came though, did it?
Such a letdown. Last Stand.
But forget Last Stand. When you saw that image of Phoenix in the water,
the image of that
was comic book sweatydom, man. You were like, oh, Phoenix is coming.
And the funny thing is you
it's
have
like
to be
the Omega symbol in the Batman v Superman
You have to be a comic book geek to understand that. And people are like, what do you mean you don't know what that symbol is? Fucking Phoenix! Jean isn't gone! Jean is coming back! It was like, big stuff. Even the younger characters, Iceman, Pyro.
Pyro was great. I loved Pyro.
What was it? You're a god amongst insects or something.
Yeah.
Magneto. It was,
But they came crashing down with X3, didn't it?
It was such a letdown.
Question, what's Magneto's power?
The ability to control metal.
Why the fuck is he hiding in the woods?
Sorry, I really thought I had it wrong and you was gonna like add an extra power or something. Yeah, no, why is he hiding in the woods?
What the fuck?
Just so much weirdness. And you know, X2 is the mutant program, and you're talking about
I'm the Juggernaut.
That I hated. That cannot be explained. One, the sheer fact that
Archangel sucked.
yeah,
No Nightcrawler.
you can't say it.
Nightcrawler wasn't in 3.
Oh, sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, Nightcrawler in 2 was the highlight.
Yeah, Nightcrawler was
fucking amazing.
The amazing Kurt Wagner. Yeah,
But at the Munich theatre, I was called the amazing Nightcrawler. I loved it.
Yeah.
My name is Kurt Wagner. I loved it.
It was so Alan. I can't actually think of a better role he's been in. That was
Who was it?
Alan Cummins.
Who is it?
It was, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know.
It's him.
Yeah, that is his best role by a long shot. I'm glad that Nightcrawler's coming back in Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's one to look forward to. Even there's so many great scenes I remember. When Magneto's removed his hands, and was it the end scene when he moved the chest pit? It's like, ooh, the powers are coming back. It was so much. It is the best of the original set. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Okay.
Your 3 was the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, number 3. Yes.
I'm gonna have a feeling that our 2 and 1 are gonna be the same in reverse order.
Yeah, it's the DC and the Marvel in us, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have that feeling because I know they're both in there.
It's the best Batman movie and the best Marvel movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, my number 2 is the best Batman movie.
Yep.
It's The Dark Knight.
Okay, it's my number 1. Let's just go through it. We might as well just go through
And
it.
Avengers is your number 2?
Yeah.
It's my number 1.
Yeah, it had to be done. Okay, well...
Beyond the 1 and 2, we had a pretty good list, but that's obvious.
Well, we got the same top 3, which is amazing. Yeah. Okay, wow. Okay, let's go Dark Knight. Performance of a lifetime, and it literally took his life.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger as the Joker. And I think that's the problem, and I can appreciate why you probably put it at number 2. It's more about the Joker than it is about Batman.
No, it's not that actually. I think The Dark Knight, as amazing a film as it is, and it is my number 2 of superhero movies, I think it's a superhero movie, but not in the traditional sense. It's very much a crime thriller. And if you didn't have Batman in there and you just had an FBI agent or something, it would work just as well. Yeah. But then you picture bits when he's on the bike and he's, nearly knocks down the Joker. Yeah, but...
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
I fully agree with
the same way as Captain America the Winter Soldier is a spy thriller, this is very much a crime thriller.
Yeah.
Whereas my number 1, The Avengers...
is superhero.
That's as superhero as it gets.
Yeah.
That is throw your popcorn in the air, fist pump the sky, and scream Avengers Assemble when the Hulk goes "Arr!" and they have that pan around shot, that fucking epic legendary pan around shot with that I mean, that assembly at the end, and everything just worked so fucking well in it. The way they came together with Captain America, Thor, and Iron Man. The way that Ruffalo said, "I'm always angry," Everything.
Do you know, funny enough,
worked.
Everyone loved that line. It pissed me off. It pissed me off. Not because of the delivery. The delivery was perfect. But you look at the issues of the Hulk, the inner battles that he's always gone through to keep it calm. And now to think that the Hulk can Hulkify on demand, it just bugged me.
I loved it.
It was perfect delivery. But I was like, really? That it just kind of took something away from Hulk.
I don't think
that
so.
Inner battle.
That's fine. I get why you think that. I don't think so. And I think and let's not just forget the pan around shot, but the mid battle shot where it goes, here's Thor fucking summon up, here's it just didn't stop. That final battle, I was grabbing my seat going, oh my god, it was like a roller coaster ride.
Do
completely the other end of the scale from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, completely. And Avengers, funny enough, is something I can relate to more. Nick, you're going to understand this. No one else will. I'm sure comic book fans will understand what I'm trying to get at. My teen passion of writing when I wrote
Justice
Avengers. That was the first touch of cinematic universe. And to finally see it come out in real life,
It must mean quite a lot.
I would have liked to have cashed in with my writing of it, but
Wouldn't have ever happened, mate, because you combine Marvel and DC. Yeah, for those, you should probably put it up for download.
Do you know what? I would put it up for download. Do you know what? As a free item, I suppose it can never be done for copyright.
Why the fuck not? It's free.
I just had such a passion.
For those of you who don't know, when we were about 14, 15, AJ wrote a script called The Justice Avengers, combining the DC and the Marvel world. Granted, something even back then that was never ever going to happen, but the thought of it was amazing. And I have to tell you, I flunked a lot of hours on the same day by reading the script. I got into trouble with my geography teacher because I saw AJ down in the courtyard and I put my head out the window going, "Oi! It's fucking amazing! Love it!"
Yeah, do you know what, guys? It may
we might put it up for that. I think you should.
I need to touch on it. Do you know my biggest problem? I lost the passion to write a sequel. There was a sequel waiting.
Forget the sequel.
And it never came. But
you can write the sequel if you want.
It will come.
Put it up for a free download.
Do you know what? I'll put it up for a free download. I'll put it up for a free download. And Marvel, DC, should you guys ever? I know you say never, but we never thought we'd see the Avengers. That's as far as I'm going on that.
Right? We don't need to go further. They say never say never. I'm saying never.
But it's a combination. I might treat the silver screen fans to it, and it's just
Subscribe
nice to see
now
something.
And get a free script.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. I need to just correct my spelling because I was a 15-year-old kid. But apart from that, no, it's there. But yeah, the Avengers.
And I'm not just saying this is his mate, guys. It was I may need to reread it and may think it sucks now. But still to this day, I remember that opening with Lex Luthor.
That was something that came off my head. I still don't even know how I came up with. Anyone who does read it when I put it out there, please understand that my universe came from an era that had Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. I had not been honoured with Dark Knight and the rest. We'd been left at Spider-Man 2. I think I edited slightly to match Spider-Man 3. But yeah, that's just something just for if you do get the chance to read it, I had to defend myself. But the Avengers is the ultimate combination. It's something you can understand is passionate to me of seeing, taking several different films and bringing it together. And as you said, that panoramic shot of, guys, it's there. You've got a bunch of kick-ass superheroes and they're about to deliver.
And it changed the world.
It has.
It's what DC are trying to do, man. Every single film company now wants the franchise. Universal want their Monsters universe. Everything is trying to be a franchise because of what Marvel did in Phase 1 and the way it culminated with the Avengers.
And it's still going. That's the best bit. It's still going. And
still
we are waiting
strong.
for, what came number 9 in yours, the Avengers to meet the Guardians.
I wonder if that's going to happen.
I've heard it is.
People say it is. They also say Captain America might die in Civil War, which I don't get because he's filming Infinity War. But that might mean in a flashback they might make Bucky. Let's not theorize. Yeah. Civil War's out soon. Let's give our Mount Rushmore. Well, I think we can lock in number 1 and 2.
1 and 2, Marvel and DC. You guys have both got one. We have the Avengers and the Dark Knight.
Yeah,
that's guaranteed, locked in. Okay.
Could lock in number 3 too.
Yeah, it's in the 3rd place. Right, my thing is, it's now the ultimate battle.
Yeah.
The ultimate civil war of who is the best. I keep saying it, and it's not in a racist term, guys. Who is the biggest All-American? We've got Superman and we've got Captain America. Which one delivers more?
For your number for the 3rd position in the Rushmore?
We've got. It's a pitch. You know, I really wish the Justice League movie would have been out, so we would have been at that group. Right, I don't know. Where are we going?
Well, I want there to be an animation in there, and I kind of want it to be my animation.
Well, do you know what? I will give you your animation based on the fact that 1, it's good. 2, it's the build up to what we're going to see in cinemas shortly.
Yeah.
But both the fact that we've both seen it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's number 3. Number 4.
Ain't this a bitch? You want to go put a spin on it?
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going to go.
Yeah?
I flicked on Blade because Blade being the 18 superhero movie.
Yeah.
It's the 18 superhero movie. And Blade 2 is good. I'm not going to say don't watch Blade 2. But Deacon Frost was the man.
Yes.
Blade 2 had a bit more comedy. When you're looking at full-on serious, oh shit, this is a comic book movie, it was Blade. So
we've got our assembly, we've got our thriller, we've got our animation, and we've got our X-rated.
Yeah, okay guys. Well, actually,
I'm happy with that.
I'm happy.
And I'm much surprised that we got to that so easily.
But as I said, Marvel DC is the big one.
But as promised, we need to quickly, because we're running out of time.
Yes, no, most definitely.
We are gonna now do our Mount Rushmore. So for the 4 comic book movies, for those of you who, this is unlikely, but for those of you who have never seen a comic book movie,
Our movie Mount Rushmore of 4 must-see comic books in no particular order. Our first entry is...
It's gone from I'm always angry, The Avengers.
Our second entry into superhero movies of movie Mount Rushmore is...
Why so serious? The Dark Knight.
Let's put a smile on that face.
I love that movie.
It's so good, isn't it?
Our third entry is...
The Dark Knight Returns. What's your line? Go on, give me your line.
Huh? From The Dark Knight Returns.
I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
Oh, it's such a good line.
Our final entry of superhero movie Mount Rushmore movies is...
Daywalker. Blade. Okay, guys. As we said, it actually got together a lot easier than we thought, but they are the culmination of all angles of superhero movies. That's what it's about. Hopefully we are on iTunes now, but if not, thank you for tuning in on Stitcher or wherever else you caught us. Also,
and we will get on iTunes ASAP, guys. Apple are making life
it's
difficult.
technical issues, it's not the silver screen dudes. But guys, if you are catching this for the first and you are unfamiliar with who AJ and Nico Lura are, we are the Silver Screen Dudes. We deliver silver screen news to you via Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. We also have our shows Monday through Saturday. We've got everything for you, whether it be verses, whether it be film reviews, whether it be best and worst,
top 5
verses. We do a lot. Top 5, top 10, which you're listening to.
We bring you high impact movie entertainment.
That's the one. Guys, thank you for tuning in. As I said before, I'm Anthony Jordan.
I'm Nico Luro.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. Catch you soon.
See ya.